In July 1955, only parts of southern Germany are left to be liberated. After the fall of Czechoslovakia, the resurgence of Hungary, the German Empire almost looks like it did at the very start, which means that the French are next on the list. So 10 years ago, we had France at our doorstep, round about here-ish. And they were in control of pretty much all of Europe, plus all of Africa. They're still holding large parts of Africa, but they now have a fair amount of troops on their borders. But first things first, how is the air situation in Western Germany? We can contest that. So that said, we don't have an awful lot of fuel, but we'll bring the aircraft, we'll get the aircraft into the air. And we will get the 1st Army's armored divisions on the move to break through the remaining troops here and just effectively clear them out. So we do have, I believe, we do have one of the heavy tank divisions here as well, so we can use them too. But for now, let's push towards Ulm and then get across the river to Augsburg and then retake Munich, while at the same time we don't have an awful lot of intelligence here, but we are going to begin the assault with the tank forces we have available and start pushing. This is all German territory. We can probably cut through here at Regensburg, link up with the south and destroy these as well. So let's make that happen. Actually, this might be weaker. Get the crossing on Regensburg and then link up here. Then we'll destroy the remaining pockets of resistance there. It's another tank division that we can get in to make this happen. And the mechanized infantry is going to help out. We do have green air. We have aerial superiority at this point, and we will... What are we facing in the air? A mix of enemy planes, but we'll wipe them out, and I think that tank assault, armored assault here, we'll reinforce it with some with some mechanized infantry, and I will have to slow this down, otherwise I will lose control of the various things that are going on. But I think we're breaking through on all fronts here relatively quickly. So mainly the armored divisions are the ones I want to control, and let's push towards Munich with the tanks. There's another tank division here that we can employ in that one, and we are already pushing across the lines here with tanks to close off the rest of Czech controlled territory here and retake Regensburg. Where are my heavies for the river crossing? Not needed, actually. It's just a weakened Greek division. Have they brought in reinforcements in the air? They have not, and they are taking catastrophic losses in the air. They have brought in, they used to bring in some bombers from just a minute ago, but so far they are taking quite heavy losses. Tanks are on the move, and it looks like there's not an awful lot of opposition to that. So right now we will just close the gap here, and then start moving in and exploiting the encirclement in the north by pushing them back across the river lines here. Do I have heavies in the area? I think I've got them on the other side. So these, where's the 3rd division? 3rd division's over here. It really doesn't help that that the game is okay. We actually have some encircled. It doesn't help. It doesn't help that that the game is not labeling them correctly. But let's assist here with clearing out this pocket, and that should give the tanks here some relief as well, who do need to defend right now, just to make sure that they're not being pushed out. But we are breaking them. We're breaking them in Munich, and the Germans are helping as well. And we have gotten We've gotten ourselves almost across the river at this point. So let's get the heavy tanks in here from the other side. And we can already begin combat operations against fortified positions in the north here. The Germans are pushing in as well, so everyone's in on the fun. That reminds me, and yeah, we keep decrypting each other's ciphers. That reminds me, I do need a railway gun. So where's this one? We've got one in the north here. That's also something we can cut off. We've got one over here. That's it's further away. We've got one, and we've got one over here. That's closer. So let's get that railway gun. Actually, the other one was probably closer. Let's get this one over here to Pilsen to assist with the operation. It's a little late, but we still have green air, despite the fact that the Allies are starting to bring up quite a fair amount of fighters. But I'm gonna bring the Air Force down at this point, not because we can't take the fight, but because we are running out of fuel. And we have the Americans landing in northern Norway again. So let's bring the mountain troops up north, and just to deal with any potential fallout, because that's a fair amount of American divisions. So we'll deal with that as we go. Where are they even coming from? They must be coming from Scotland, somewhere in the north. Anyway, where were we? Here. Let's clean up the encirclements here in the meantime. And I think we've already defeated the first one. Can bring another infantry division from the north here, and another one here, and tank divisions to push in from this side, including that one. This is a river crossing, which the other tank division would be more suited towards, but it's fine. We can bring them in, and then we will finish off. Let's attack here as well, and then we will finish off the encircled divisions, and then I might be dealing. Okay, that assault is probably not a good idea. Then I will have to deal with the naval invasion. But we've trapped a fair amount of troops here. We're just running a little low on fuel. So let's keep the armored push going and push them back to the Austrian border here, and see that we can make that happen. That's a fair amount of infantry, so let's not waste our tanks. Can we affect the push towards Innsbruck? I believe we can. We put the Turkish out of Innsbruck, and at the same time clean this up. I do have to take a look at what's going on in Norway. Yes, they might probably take the port, because have they brought in a floating dock? No, they have not. But we can deal with that in the north here. I'll probably deal with it deal with it off screen. I'm ferrying mountain divisions in already to push them back out again. It's just the usual American invasion force that we're normally facing. So for now, let's just focus on destroying the Allied forces here, because there are 16 American divisions that are stuck here. So that's certainly an amount of troops that they're not going to be too happy to lose. So while everybody else is getting back onto their front lines, and we have already we are already pushing them out towards Innsbruck, and that means 24 days left of fuel. We are building more refineries just to deal with the fuel situation, but it is what it is. We'll get there eventually. This is a relatively strong fortification, but we do have the railway gun in Pilsen in place, so that should alleviate some of the effects. Enemy railway gun bombardment here as well from some direction. They might have one position somewhere here, but we'll break the fortress eventually. And can attack here as well. How's the Norway situation? Still holding. So it looks like, after all, they're not going to be able to break the entrenched divisions there, while the mountain divisions are being brought in via railway. This is just business as usual, but this is the one that we're really keen on here. So let us reorient our attack and assault here from all directions. And we can get the tank divisions to attack here as well. We have trapped a full American field army, plus some stranded Dutch tanks as well. So, okay, attack has failed. Let's get everybody in at the same time then. And these troops are encircled. Now they are well fortified here in Sudetenland, and this was a strong position. But with the railway guns in place, they are not going to withstand that. And I'm actually even going to get the Air Force back up again, because we have managed to capture one of the airports. So I can actually bring the planes a bit further south. And we can contest them in the air. That'll help. That'll help with the elimination of these troops as well. And we do have, okay, that has been defeated. We'll bring the mountain troops to we'll bring in the mountain troops to ensure that the Americans don't get out from there, and we'll clean this up. The submarines have sunk a bunch of their transports, so again they should be relatively weakened. And lots of massive French counterattack along the lines, but there's not an awful lot they can do. They probably try to distract us from wiping out these positions here. And under Oscar Griswold, these American troops find themselves suddenly stuck in the mountains and fortresses of Czechoslovakia, and despite their best efforts at maintaining a strong position, they are, well, completely overmatched and will be wiped out while we are clearing the skies of enemy fighters. Yeah, almost 1 to 10 losses in the past days when it comes to the enemy, and I think unless we're running out of fuel, that is going to be that. Now, once the Americans are defeated, I'm going to deal with the naval invasion, and then we are going to continue. And I think, yeah, we have wiped out that position. We have destroyed 250,000 American troops in Sudetenland, most of them going to prison camps, and we are sending the First Army troops still clearing out to clear out remaining positions in the south here. But I think actually we might be good enough. The big question is Germany still, I can't see that here, is Germany still capitulated? They are 14%. Okay, 4 more percent. So I would like Germany to not be capitulated before we are attacking the French. So I think I will modify the First Army's front line for a push towards Stuttgart. There we go, and that'll clear out the rest of them. We'll bring in the Third Army the Third Army's mountain divisions to deal with the mountainous regions, but that hopefully should bring Germany back. Anyway, I can now get the Air Force grounded again. What's actually the problem here? This is interesting. It said friendly planes were shot down en route to target, but we are within the same zone here. Honestly, let's take the planes out from the skies for now, just to conserve fuel, and I will deal with the American incursion here, and then I'll be back. Okay, naval invasions dealt with. There's another one there, but that's being cleaned up as we speak. Massive American casualties as usual, but we will push forward at this point, and we don't have an awful lot of fuel left, so I'm going to leave the Air Force. On the ground for this one, Actually, yeah. Let's push through the south and see that we can cut off the troops here around Stuttgart. We'll use our armored divisions for that, and they have absolutely no resistance against these experienced tank drivers. Our war support is still seeing another one. Oh, this is interesting. So they are still doing naval invasions from the islands here. So it was correct to leave some troops back here. They are still managing to get some naval invasions out, but it's not going to be doing them an awful lot of good. So I'll deal with that I will deal with that eventually. For now, I am just looking at the tank operations here that we're running. I do have some mountain divisions here as well, so we can potentially deal with things in more built-up hilly areas. But for now, it's just the tanks are pushing through, and the Germans are helping out with blocking the area. That is a slight fortification, but I do have a railway gun in the area, so let's get that in range as well, while the tanks are pushing forward, and we can already clear out the enemy around Ulm, and then clear the lines around Stuttgart from the east as well. Just before, we'll run a pinning attack against Stuttgart. And we've got the tanks coming in from the south, which means once the tanks have pushed through the fortifications, we are going to assist with the mechanized infantry from the north. And that should be that is Stuttgart surrounded. And that means we'll just have to clear out these two positions here. And that is another fair amount of Allied troops destroyed. I don't even know how many, because they're already gone. And that was the liberation of Stuttgart. Now it's time to take on the French. After I've dealt with various naval invasions like this one here, which Germany appears to be ignoring for some reason, and this one over here. With the incursions dealt with, and with Strasbourg already having fallen, and the Maginot being comprehensively breached, I would say, we are now going to start taking on the French. I have built up as much of a fuel reserve as I possibly could. We've got the air wings ready to start taking on the northern France air region, and we've got the armored forces ready here to start the all-out assault. I am still going to get any kind of remaining mechanized units on the lines here, and then we are going to launch the attack, and we'll probably start in the north around Dunkirk, just destroy whatever is there, and take down France. Now France used to control most of Germany. But we have taken the strategic initiative from them, and we're not going to relinquish it. So we are definitely going to take them on. I will assign the railway guns to the First Army. So we got 1, 2, 3 railway guns assigned to First Army. Let's make that 4. And we will start the push into France. We'll do the opening with the Air Force, and we will take aerial superiority and a ground attack. Germany, by the way, is no longer capitulated. The German Reich is almost complete after we've liberated the southern states here. It's just bits of Austria left that Germany can try themselves to take on if they want to, or we'll help eventually with breaking through near Innsbruck and clearing out the rest here of the Allied troops around Salzburg. But the French troops are stuck. Just some Allied troops that are holding the lines in France, besides the occasional armored division, but not an awful lot. So let us begin. The incursions. I'm going to slow it down a little bit for the beginning, just so I can just so I can better control who's going where. And we will just literally push back the French and carve up their lines here. Where did I station? Yeah, let's see if we can get towards. See, we can let's deal with the north first here. So we're breaking through in Lille, and we've got mobile divisions already breaking through in other places. And that should be a quick cut through towards Calais. That'll open up the front further in the south. And there we've got Dunkirk is encircled. And then we can already clear out the area until the river. I have ciphers everywhere. I have we can actually activate the cipher against France, by the way, I think. Yes, let's activate the cipher against France. I do have where do I have my river crossing divisions? Here. So do cross the river there. Except oh yeah, you can actually take the river line here as well. Let's break through near Sedan with an armored assault. And we are already in the clear here, to be honest. We can get across the lines towards Amiens. I think there's not much left. They have some defenders in Le Havre, but we can just sort of drive circles around them. At some point, we're going to have to be careful with supply, because obviously we'll be outrunning our supply pretty quickly. But I am relying on Germany, and we've just overrun one of their divisions. I am relying on Germany to secure the area, and I think we are literally just going to drive into Paris at this stage. Yeah, there's nothing that's stopping us. We are driving straight into Paris, and we can attack here as well. Take Reims. Deal with these two divisions in the north here, and Paris has fallen. Now, how far is France towards capitulation? France is already 39% towards capitulation. I don't think they will stand much of a chance here. So let's take Le Havre, defeat the remaining defenders in Dieppe. And just push towards the lines here. The German Reich seems unstoppable. Yeah, things were a little different a couple of months back, but not so much anymore. Let's see if we can use our speed to just outright cut off and surround the enemy divisions here. And we will run the assault, take the airport. We can probably do something about these troops in the north here, but we might not even have to. We just have to be careful with supply that we're making sure that we are taking the supply hubs. So we might have to wait until Paris has capitulated. Already take out the airports here, and I think the French have nothing really left. They've got a couple of divisions defending the ports, but other than that, Guderian style, the armored divisions are just pushing through here. Paris is taken, and the confused defenders are trying to rally around Troyes. Where did the French move their government to? Interesting question. Or to Brest. Okay, as far away as possible. They have moved towards Brest. Let's push south in the direction of Orléans, while the other tank division is clearing out. Okay, American defenders have landed in Cherbourg. That means we are going to have to shorten up the operations here and make sure that we are getting our front lines into a good shape. So let's push with already the mechanized infantry south here and see that we can take the airports, and then we will consolidate for now. So I think that's a good line. Let's try to consolidate it somewhat, and we'll wait for the German defenders to move in before we continue. So we'll take some more territory. We'll take some more territory near Orléans. Let's see if we can get the remaining French divisions there encircled. But okay, so the American defenders are pushing to secure the airport. Jackson has been wounded, which is unfortunate. And I think at this point I am actually going to abort the offensive, or stop the offensive for now, until after we've dealt with that one division here. We've pushed as far as, I think we've pushed as far as we could. Let's make sure that we are actually defending this front line, and maybe cut off the, yeah, let's cut off this position here. We have a river crossing, a heavy tank division ready to assist with that. So let's make sure we're cutting this off and destroying it near Nancy. And that means we will have occupied northern France. Now we just have to wait for the infantry to catch up and actually take this down. The Germans are sending, I'm not sure what they're sending here. Supply potentially. I hope it's not divisions. Okay, that's these divisions encircled, so we can already focus all the assaults onto the onto that area to wipe that out. And with just as quickly as that, we have blitzed our way through northern France. Now we do have to stop here because we have outrun our supply lines again, Guderian style. They're sending transports to Le Havre, but we'll have to wait until all the supply lines are in good shape. That said, I think the Americans have mostly moved out of Cherbourg, so let's see if we can push them back towards Cherbourg with, we'll send a tank division and one of the, which is a relatively out of fuel at this point. How's the air situation looking? Northern France is secure air-wise. So do we have a, yes we do, we have a large airport. We can send some planes over into the Western France air region. There's not much left there, so we can probably send these wings, and then we'll send 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wings over, and their target is going to be Western France, whereas the rest of the planes doesn't need to do anything, because whatever's left we can for now park, and we will focus our operations onto the Western France air region, where we are in the process of cutting off that American division there. So let's make sure we get them pinned while the tanks, very much low on fuel, are racing towards Cherbourg. And that should give us another supply port here that we can work with, and should secure the northern line. So despite the Americans having sent in reinforcements, we are nowhere near defeated. In fact, the German infantry has arrived, and we have taken Cherbourg, which means northern France is relatively firmly under our control. Where are supply hubs? There is one in Rennes, but we probably don't want to push any further at this point until we have at least the railway supply line secured, because supply via sea through the English Channel is obviously a terrible idea. So we'll wait here until the supply situation is secured. We have troops all along the border now, which means I probably want to concentrate the tank divisions somewhat. So I might give them their own. Actually, I don't think it's even necessary. They don't have an awful lot of defenders. I'm sure the Americans are going to send defenders in, but France is now 50% towards capitulation. So we will have to wait for 3 days, and then we'll get supply again. So in the meantime, we can save some fuel by just not contesting the air here. they have brought in more fighters, so we're going to need the rest of the fighters. We'll send them over to Paris, and from there they can help out with the Western France region. But we'll conserve some fuel for now until the supply lines have been connected, and in the meantime we can check what our Navy's been up to. There's a couple of American transports. We've lost one of our own convoys, which again should not have been operating in the area. The French appear to be trying to ship in some troops or ship out some troops. I'm not sure about that. But Canadian convoys are getting slaughtered here. And the British have had convoys running in the northern routes here, which doesn't really help them an awful lot either. So these French divisions here are completely stranded. We don't have the... This is a hills for place. We've got the mountain divisions here, but that is a lot of French infantry, and I don't have a in the hills with a level 2 fortification, so not seeing our chances too well of breaking that position here. I mean, we can give it a try while we are waiting. It might work. So let's see if we can break the French out from there, just with using the mountain specialist troops, which are incredibly powerful in this terrain. So in fact, quite a bit more powerful than I actually thought. Most of it's going to be the planning bonus. So let's support the attack from the north, just to widen the front lines and see if we can manage to cut off these divisions there, and then encircle and destroy as usual. It would be nice if the Germans were helping, but we are getting there. They have 7 divisions left against 4 mountain specialist divisions. We still got one in reserve here that is of yet uncommitted, and I think we have managed to take the position, pin them in Ostrava, just to make sure that the mountaineers have managed to take the position. Now we'll just hold here and wait for them to try and break out. Nothing really going on in France. Still waiting for the supply lines to be provided. North supply to Cherbourg is still underway, and then we will push towards Brest and try to take that. But for now, we'll just massive allied counterattacks along the lines here, especially into these German positions. The British are very heavily involved there. Okay, can we get everybody onto trying to deal with them? Oh, that's a level 7 fortification. Okay, let's not do that. In fact, let's assault the southern positions. Instead, we do have a railway gun here to help dealing with that, but I want them encircled in the north here before we get to it. So let's see if we can manage that. It looks like... Can I get the mountaineers to assault the south? Yes, I can. But the rest of the divisions is exhausted. And they are out of supply, so the defense is going to be strong, but they are going to run into problems with their... Yeah, they are running into severe supply problems now. They do have the capital here still, so I am suspecting that that this is... Where are they planning a naval invasion? Oh, somewhere here. Okay, maybe on the relatively weakly defended lines here from the remaining troops in the islands. We'll deal with that when we get to it. But for now, let's bring the rest of the infantry back in helping out in these positions, and then we'll clear out what probably amounts to almost 2 Allied field armies in the remains of Czechoslovakia. So there we go. And now, yeah, that's 32, 34, 38, 40 divisions, 42 divisions. Wow. Let's get everybody in position and give them some rest while we let them starve in their entrapment here. And then we will launch the overall offensive to clear out the rest of them. Meanwhile, how's France looking? It looks like okay. Our railway lines are connected in France, so let's finish up the fight here. The clearing operation. We'll finish that up, and that should be a massive Allied loss. And then we can push the French a bit more. We should have recovered a bit of fuel in the meantime. And the encircled divisions, despite the fact that they are sitting in the hills in very strong fortifications, are not having anywhere to go. Our mounted specialists are very, very good at dealing with these sort of situations. And the railway gun emplacement has taken care of the rest, bombed them into submission. Ostrava is taken, or is about to be taken. And we have destroyed 400,000 Allied troops in that encirclement. Which means we can now restart the offensive in Western France and get Brest to fall. Let's get planes up in the air and relaunch the offensive. Where are my armored divisions? Here we go. So not much left here, to be honest. Let's push towards Rennes, because that is one of the supply hubs. And we'll take the port of Nantes, and then push the remaining French defenders back towards Lorient, and that should be the end of. Okay, Breda has been wounded, which is unfortunate. There are some defenders here, but they do not stand a chance, especially not that we actually have green air over Western France, which means our while the Allies are taking significant losses in the air, our ground attack planes actually are effective taking on the effective in taking on the enemy, and that should be Brest. A couple of French defenders left here, and Brest has been taken. So everybody back to the front. New capital has been moved to Orléans. France is 64% towards capitulation, so they are still in the fight, but let's assault Orléans. And at the same time, they don't even have anyone here anymore. At the same time, just gently move south here around the whole area, and we can see what else we can do there. But we've got pretty much open field starting at Nantes. So I will get our tank divisions to move south and cross the river already, and start taking territory there, while we are breaking through towards Tours as well, and just taking territory at this point. Let's push across the river. They are exhausted. Maybe we can manage to overrun them. And we'll advance all along the front lines here. We do have a bit of a concentration around Troyes, so let's get 2 of the tank division. Actually, in fact, let's not do that. Let's get 2 tank divisions to push around in the south here. Take on these weakened American tanks and encircle them from the other side. And we'll have tanks ready to clear it out. Benelux region naval invasion somewhere. Did I see that right? Yes. I'll let Germany deal with that, to be honest. Okay, we have breached their lines, and we can take on the Australian defenders in La Rochelle, as well as push the attack Tours from the other side, while we are clearing out the northern line of the river here. And it looks like one of our divisions has been encircled, but that's not a problem. We are having some tanks here counter-attacking, and they're already reattached. So we get the armored divisions to move more north towards Troyes, while the rest of the army is running interference to pin the enemy divisions there. Another division here encircled, that is going to be dealt with momentarily. La Rochelle has fallen, and there isn't an awful lot left of the French defenders, to be honest. So let's move towards Châteauroux, encircle the remaining encircle the remaining defending divisions there. And I think Germany is Germany taking this? Otherwise we'll take it. Okay. A couple of French tanks left. We have destroyed everything around here, so we'll just move towards Dijon. Great mustard coming from there. And we have some divisions here to... We'll see if we make anything happen towards Nancy, but I think for now, where have they moved their capital at this point? Bordeaux. Yeah, Bordeaux is about to fall, France. So we'll just we'll keep chasing the government, and the fast divisions are just going to circle through France here without too much opposition. We have a chance to encircle some of these divisions in the north here, and we may as well take it. Let's move some more divisions in, encircle them here, and destroy that. Yeah, we've got a tank division moving in. The tanks are getting a little exhausted at this point, but we have them very much under control. So the last remaining Allied defenders here are being wiped out. And we might have to stop at some point again to reconnect our supply lines. Bordeaux has fallen, and there are some defenders here, but I think we can just move the tanks out and defeat those as well, while we are moving some infantry across towards the river line. Okay. Yeah, France is falling apart rapidly. Everything they have is getting either encircled or destroyed. The tanks are pushing through, and they just don't have the Allies just don't have enough troops to defend themselves here. When we're looking at the air situation, we are now focusing on southern France. So, do we have an airport that we can operate from in that region? Doesn't look like to be the case. There is one near Dijon, but we can just move everyone over to Paris for now and focus on southern France. We're still good on fuel. Southern France is about to fall under our control, and we are, I think, breaking through faster than they can. Then they can re-establish that. So let's get across the river here. There is a weakened French tank division. Yeah, the French have mounted some armored divisions for localized counterattacks, but they just don't have a chance. They just don't have a chance to do anything there. I had a tank division in the south here, but it might have moved off the lines at this point. Germany is moving in, is securing the ports. We are destroying the Allies in the air. Whatever's left, rugged remains of the air forces left, is getting destroyed on all fronts. And we can get tank divisions towards Vichy. And then we will take Lyon as well, since we're at it. Encircle the last remaining divisions in the north here, and just generally run a major offensive. Vichy is defended by a weakened... Okay, let's clean these up first. Is defended by a weakened armored division with the help of some Turkish troops, which is not going to help them with anything. And the rest of France is literally just wide open. So we can extend the front lines here at all positions. Clear out the remaining defenders. We're holding Bordeaux, which means we can already push towards... no, let's not do it like that. The mechanized divisions are relatively powerful, so we can just surround the defenders in the airport here. Take that, move towards Toulouse, and that's just... it's just territory at this point, so we're just taking territory at this point. And we are at Lyon. Lyon is undefended, declared an open city. Let's push the French back towards the Alps, and I think France is yeah, France is about to capitulate, I think. So we don't even need to incur any further losses in the north. Southern France is now getting defended viciously by Allied aircraft. Can we move some of the wings? Do we hold an airport? I think we had one near Lyon. Yes, we can move some planes a little closer, but it's not a huge issue. We are capturing their territory, and they have nothing that they can do about it. Even if at this point we are running relatively strictly out of fuel. Some desperate defenders there in Toulouse, and not much else that they can do here. And France has capitulated. Free France has capitulated. We get the equipment. We'll hand that over to the Germans. And Germany has re-established Vichy France. There are some thresholds left. What is this here? Okay, Free France. Free France is holding some territory. Vichy has been re-established. Italy has been re-established. And just a couple of stranded Allied troops here around Besançon that are about to be destroyed. And that, my friends, has been the campaign. We have from the very beginnings where we had to fight for every province. We have retaken Murmansk. We have gone through a long and arduous Scandinavia campaign. We have managed to breach the Allied defensive lines in Denmark. We've managed to bring the German Reich back. France has capitulated. Vichy has taken over Africa. There are remnants of Free France. The Empire of Finno-Ugria has taken over Morocco effectively. Which, given that we can't defeat it, I am actually probably just going to release. So which occupied territory would that be? Spanish Morocco. Can I, in fact, actually release that? We are holding 2 out of 4 territories. Not sure if I can even release that area. I don't have any subjects, so it's just occupied territory. And we cannot. Okay, because we didn't have a peace deal, so that's fine. Germany or Italy can occupy the territory. We might as well just get some resources out of that, since we're at it. But the First Army, and I totally missed that he had the engineer. Yes, definitely Fortress Buster. There we go. So the glorious First Army troops are going to get some medals here. We are going to award medal the Cross of Heroism wherever we can to the victorious tank divisions that have brought France to its knees, and I think we can award one more. And we have one here, Cross of Heroism. There we go. So our First Army troops, victorious First Army tank divisions, extremely powerful at this point. Together with the specialized river assault divisions, have been sweeping through northern France. We have overall taken 2.1 million casualties, the majority of this to the United States and Free France. The Germans have taken 6 million casualties. We have inflicted a 6-to-1, almost clear 6-to-1 loss ratio. The Hui Republic, by the way, is still standing. We have inflicted. I can't sort this by casualties. Can I? Yes, I can. The Americans have taken 16 million just from us. Free France has taken massive casualties. So has Poland, Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia, and the remaining. I think the remaining major nations. I'm not sure who the remaining majors are here, but I think it's just Great Britain and the US. But yeah, I'm not sure which ones still count as majors here. because India is still a dominion. Not sure if the Russian Federation, no, shouldn't count either. So it's probably just the US, maybe Yugoslavia, and Great Britain. So this section of the video I actually re-recorded a couple days later, because initially the two goals for the run were: first goal was to create the Empire of Finno-Ugria, check. Second goal was to restore the German Empire, check. Germany is back where it used to be. That said, I've been going through your comments and thinking about it a bit more, and even though it's already 1955 and we are in ultra late game, usually games don't last much longer than 1942, 1943, a lot of you have been relatively vocal saying we don't want this to end yet, and honestly neither do I. So at the same time, I know that in these ultra late game scenarios we are facing still relatively extreme numbers. There are provinces which have 18, 21 divisions in them. So, so all in all, this is going to be a little tedious, and it's going to be an effort of make an armored assault, try to get some air force running. We're never going to outproduce the allies in the air, but try to find a way to get some air cover running, make some conquest, then stop again, let the air force recover, let supply catch up, and then rinse and repeat. That said, since I am kind of keen to give you a little bit more on this series rather than just ending it here, this is going to be the official end. And for those who are still interested to watch, I'm going to put some epilogue episodes out. Now, these are not going to be full on every detail, as we've done mostly, except for the tedious naval invasions so far. But these are going to be somewhat more highly edited and just more focusing on certain strategic campaigns. And I'll see for how long I can. For how long I'm still gonna keep going, but I'll definitely try to. I'm not gonna put an official goal out there because then I'm bound by it, but I'm gonna try to make a couple more things happen. And there are several possible strategic goals that I could still imagine doing. For example, Italy. Now, while the Socialist Republic of Italy has been liberated with the fall of France, at the same time it is surrounded by allies on all sides. So there's Free France over here, there's the United Kingdom over there, the remainder on the Swiss, and the remainder of Dutch occupied Alps for some reason. Swamp Germans in the Alps. Sorry, Netherlands. We've still got Yugoslavia, we've got the traitors in legionary Romania, because while they are actually communist, they're with the Allies. There is the question of the Russian Federation, which is rapidly rearming, and our remaining corps in the north here, all the way up to the Caucasus, to the Ural Mountains. So there is the eventual question of maybe we can capitulate the Allies, which contain the United States and Great Britain. Can we end the war? So no promises on how far I'm going to go, but I think I can put a couple more epilogue episodes out that are going to be a little bit faster in terms of progress and not going into every single detail, but just focus on major events. And I'll see how much time I can still put into this, because I can imagine trying to do the whole thing's probably gonna go down for another, probably for another 10 hours at least. So if I was going to put this into regular episodes, we'll be looking at least another 20-30 episodes probably. So not gonna do that, more edited, but that's the plan. And for all of you who were just around here to say, we wanted to see this is the official end. Congratulations, you've made it. And you can skip the epilogues, and I will try to record ahead as much as possible such that you actually get the next series already while the epilogues are still running. So Yep, that's it. So thanks to everybody who's been sticking around with me for one way or another. This is, I think, the longest, the longest run, and definitely has been the hardest run that I've done. I've learned a lot of things, and this is always, and I never imagined that we made it this far. So, from the initial situation. So, yeah, there we have it. And I will see you either in the next episode or in the next series. Either way, thank you for sticking around. And that's it for me today. Thank you. Bye-bye.